What is up, 7th grade? This is lesson 96. We're talking about estimating angles, particularly those on clock faces, and also using the distributive property, particularly with ones with algebraic terms. So before we get started about estimating angles, we need to remember that one full turn, if I started, say, here and went all the way around back to that same point, would be 360 degrees. That helps us because if we're looking at something on a clock, notice there are 12 numbers. They're numbered 1 through 12. So if I took that 360 and divided by 12, it goes into 36 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. They give me 0, but remember I still have to have a 0 to hold that place value. So what that tells us is that between, if I moved from here to here, one number, that's 30 degrees. Because if there's 12 of them, that'd make the full 360. And then, if we take it a step further, if we say 30, we notice that there's 5 marks between each of these. There's 5 steps in here. So if I took 30 and divided by 5, it goes into that 6 times. So if I go just one hand like that, that in there is 6 degrees. So we can use that on examples like this. If it says, what's the angle measure here between the two hands of the clock? Well, we know it's moving, let's point at that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So notice each of those would be 30, right? 30, 30, another 30, another 30. So it's at 60, 120, that far. But then also notice we're not pointed right at the 2, we're pointed at the mark right past the 2. So that's another 6 degrees. So the degrees measured between those two hands would be 126 degrees. On this one, if it says between, let's say, the hour and the minute, we can go into hour and minute. So notice we have from 9 to 10 is full in there, 10 to 11, and 11 to 12. That's 1, 2, 3. So I do 3 times the 30. That gives me the 90. And then over here, looks like this is pointing right there. So we got 1, 2, 3 minutes there. And then 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5, but we'll do 3 there. So there's 6 of those altogether. So I'd do 6 times the 6 degrees of each one of those, which is 36. So I'd add those up. 6, 126. They're not always going to be 126. It's just they both happen to be that. If we wanted to try between the minute hand and the second hand, so we said that one went to there, so that means there's 2 of the minutes right there, and there's 1 right here, so it's going to be the 3 times the 6, and then I got 1, 2 whole marks, so it's going to be 2 times the 30. 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 30 is 60. So if I add those two together, it's going to be 78 degrees between the minute hand and the second hand. The other thing we're doing in this lesson is the distributive property. And you may have probably already done these before, but the idea here is if you have something on the outside times parentheses in here, take what's on the outside times the first one, and then add to that what's inside times the second one. So if we say 2 times x, that's just 2 x's. And then 2 times the negative 3 would be a negative 6. We could say plus a negative 6, or we could just say minus 6. Those two mean the same thing. So that's what that would look like. Notice we did not have an equal sign up here. So that means there's no way of knowing what x is equal to. This is just an expression, not an equation. So whenever we're asked to simplify, we're not trying to say x equals some number. We're just trying to simplify down this expression. So we will not get an answer if x equals to 2 or something like that because we do not have an equation. All right, let's try another one here. negative 2 times x would be negative 2x. Negative 2 times that positive 3 would be a negative 6, so I could say plus negative 6 or minus 6 is how I'm going to write it. Less symbols. Another one here, negative 2 times x would be a negative 2x. Negative 2 times a negative 3 makes it a positive 6, so I'm going to say plus 6. And it's positive because we both have the same sign. And then lastly here, x times x. We simplify that. You could write it like xx, but how we write it is x squared, because there's 2 of those. Then x times negative 3 would be minus 3x. Now notice we cannot, again, combine these together because this is an x squared and this is just an x, so I can't combine those together. So this would be my answer here. And that is it for today. I think you guys are going to do great. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Good luck, guys.